Hi folks, and welcome to another Success Pointer. This week I'm talking about addiction to behavior. At the start of the week I was talking about addiction to negative behavior, a compulsory course of action that we find ourselves repeating which leads to a negative consequence. And for a lot of people this could be applied to dieting, making money, lack of money, uh, you know, interpersonal relationships, either on a personal level or in a social context or in a work context, where a certain set of circumstances will lead us to trigger an automatic response, a response that we just break into without even thinking about it. Now, the reason I use the word addiction is because, as I said in the previous video, our bodies produce this physiological, chemical situation which is appropriate. It's a shortcut and an appropriate response. So let's say I showed you this picture. Now, if you don't like spiders, your body's physiology will, you break into a sweat, you're automatically in an adrenaline rush, fight or flight, here we go. This is a pre-programmed response because you are mapping something directly onto this situation that has happened previously. And that's only a picture. So here's the thing about addiction. For a lot of people, certainly in substance abuse, it takes rock bottom. It takes a situation that is greater than the addiction in order to break it. Personally speaking, when I gave up smoking, I did it because I wanted to have children. And I knew that if I continued down this road of addiction, that wasn't going to happen. My why, when we talk about our why, we talk about it being bigger than the addiction. So let's say the addiction scores at maybe 180, then your why has to be above 180. It has to be 200, 250. The stronger your why, the stronger the calibration of your why above your addiction, the easier it is going to be to break that addiction. So this is what I'm talking about. Our bodies produce the juice that comes from these situations. It comes from us being overweight. This guilt that we feel is nothing more than a response, a conditioned response. Our being broke is a conditioned response. But you know what? So is being thinner or on weight, and so is having money. These are predictive stimuli that we can teach our bodies to respond to. So when we talk about habits, these are the actions that we take. When we talk about addictions, we are talking deeper than skin deep. We are talking deeper than habits. We are talking about rewiring the neural network in our brains. Because here's the amazing thing about humans. Humans have the ability to write the script that changes the mechanics. If we were talking in computer terms, let's say my first computer was a Commodore 64, it certainly wouldn't run an ounce of the programs that we have here. And it couldn't, in fact, modify itself to run anything that we have these days. But here's the beauty of humans. Humans can rewrite their programming and the hardware will change in response. That is an amazing, amazing thought. And this is called neuroplasticity. Our neural network changes in response to what we are thinking. And that's why what we are thinking is so important, because it manifests physically in our bodies and in our bodies to our actions. So remember, a certain course of behavior is an addiction, but use it as a positive addiction. Have a great weekend, and I will speak to you next week.